Hello, and welcome to this INVALSI teacher training video. The objective of this video is to help develop students' language competence in reading through the use of authentic texts with practical classroom ideas and integrated skills activities. At the end of the video, we will show you an example of an authentic INVALSI reading task using the same written text. So, what makes a text a B2 text? In order to identify the features of text representative of each level, it's worth referring back to the CEFR descriptors to highlight key words which will help us select suitable texts consistent with the target level. The Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, or CEFR, is an international standard to describe competence in a foreign language. It was developed by the Council of Europe and is structured on a progressive scale of A, B and C, further developed into sub-stages from level A1, beginner, to C2, proficient user. A B2 language user can read with a large degree of independence, adapting style and speed of reading to different texts and purposes, and using appropriate reference sources selectively. They have a broad active reading vocabulary, but may experience some difficulty with low-frequency idioms. So, how do we select a B2 text? Students who have reached B2 can process a text which is longer than a few hundred words. The topic can be outside the everyday experience of the reader and can be concrete or abstract. Some concepts may be implicit. The text may include complex syntax, multi-word verb forms, and low-frequency words. In real life, we read for various reasons, and we use different reading styles according to our reading purpose. For example, quick selective reading. When we need to pick out specific information or important details, or if we want to get the gist of a text, we apply a quick and selective reading style. On the other hand, careful reading is when we need to understand the main ideas of a text and to infer the writer's opinion. In this case, we read more slowly and more carefully. We're going to analyze a text which introduces a series of different art competitions for students. The texts are full of specific information and important details. Students extract as many items of information as they can, which they then need to use to carry out the task. The texts may be related to these analytical CEFR descriptors. A B2 user can understand what is said in a personal email or posting, even where some colloquial language is used. They can quickly identify the content and relevance of news items, articles, and reports on a wide range of professional topics, deciding whether closer study is worthwhile. The features of these texts focus on reading for specific information and important details as reading behavior. In order to activate the students' expectations about the topic of the reading passage, we're going to set up a couple of pre-reading speaking activities. First, we're going to lead the class towards the content of the reading activity by focusing their attention on the title: International Art Competitions, and asking them if they have ever entered an art competition? Was it for painting, sculpture, installations, or performing arts? And if they have, to give details. Then we're going to ask students who have already experienced that type of contest to explain the various steps in the process, from application to award. If nobody has ever entered an art contest, they can find information on the website you can find below. It's now time to read the text. First, while reading, students must find out and take notes about the following: the age of participants, the price to participate, the value of prizes, the number of awards, the types of artwork. Then, students do a longer while reading activity by matching the young people described in the table you can find below with one or more of the art competitions presented in the article. Sometimes more than one competition can fit the person. The task can be completed in small groups and a class discussion may follow. You can now pause the video and use the links below to download the text and the while reading activity with answer keys. Although standardized tests focus on receptive skills, listening and reading, it is recommended to practice all 4 language skills in class. Authentic reading texts lend themselves perfectly to integrating skills. The integrated skill activity we suggest now is still related to the topic of the reading text and introduces a guided writing activity. The activity we suggest assumes that in real life, when students want to enter a competition, that they're likely to be asked to write an email to the organizers containing their personal data and the type of competition they intend to enter. As emails are often used for personal and informal purposes, we should stress that when formality is required, students should keep their message clear and to the point, and follow basic rules for style, tone, and formatting. Students must choose an art competition from the ones they've just read about and prepare the draft of a formal email. They can work in pairs too. In order to provide guidance throughout the writing process, we give the class some tips about the parts of a formal email, as you can see here. Students then swap their emails and peer correction follows. You can download this activity by clicking on the links below. This is a creative, integrated skill speaking activity called the 1 Word, 1 Minute Speaking Challenge. First, put students into pairs. Tell student A that they're going to see 1 word from the text. Some examples of words could be art, competition, encourage, creativity, ocean, award, pollution, medieval, poetry, or nutrition. Student A must speak about the word for 1 minute, giving personal ideas, experiences, feelings, and opinions. Student B must listen and at the end evaluate student A. The maximum is 5 points, and B subtracts 1 point every time A uses Italian, hesitates for 5 seconds, or repeats ideas. Then repeat with B speaking, and then continue with all the other words for about 5 rounds for each speaker. The text International Art Competitions was used for a reading comprehension task. INVALSI chooses authentic texts as stimulus for reading comprehension activities. The testing method which was used in this task is short answer questions, which encourages the students to read selectively to understand the specific information and supporting details expressed in a text. The short answer questions method consists in a series either of open-ended questions or of incomplete statements based on the reading text which the students have to answer or complete using a maximum of 4 words. In some items, it's possible to find the expressions "give 1 answer" or "give 2 answers." In the first case, there's more than one possible answer, but any one will do. In the second case, there may be at least 2 possible answers. Being a test of reading comprehension, we are not testing writing. So the answer is considered correct even if it is not grammatically correct. Spelling errors are not penalized provided the content is clear. It's now time to do the task. You can pause the video and download the text, the task, and the answer key, clicking on the links below. That's the end of this INVALSI teacher training video. We hope it's been useful for you. Now, try the activities in class.